The James Show Podcast.
What you just heard from Trina there, we have new footage released in the Minnesota ICE shooting, and it kind of body cam footage. I think he's actually holding his cell phone with his left hand doing the recording, but it looks like body cam footage because it's sort of the first person view. I don't know if you're a gamer, but like a first person shooter, like you're playing Wolfenstein or something. And you would think having this many angles that there would be more of a definitive answer on whether or not this was a justified shooting or an understandable shooting or whether or not this was murder. But I've already seen people online in both camps say this solidifies their position. I see people saying that, well, like the JD Vance and whatnot, saying, well, I told you, she hit him with her car. It's a justified shot. Here's a guy, his name is Tim Miller. He's host of the Bulwark podcast, author of a bunch of stuff. But he says, the MAGA accounts, this is on X, the MAGA accounts defending this body cam footage reveal them to be either bloodthirsty monsters who love to murder lib women or the biggest P words in history who are deathly afraid of a Honda Pilot going 3 miles an hour. Do not see an in-between. Well, that's unfortunate. I think most people understand there's a little gray area to be had for both of them. And look, there's the on the one end of the extreme Overton window of this discussion is a woman tried to run over an ICE agent and he had to shoot her or he would be dead right now. The other end of that is there's a lady who was being harassed by ICE agents, just minding her own business, and when she was trying to escape, they shot her while she was running away. Truth's going to be somewhere in the middle of that. I'm not sure she even knew that guy was in front of her. I think she was paying attention to backing up, and then the guy that was pulling on her handle while she was backing up. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. I think when she turned her wheel, she was trying to get out of there. Not necessarily trying to hit the guy, although he was in the path. I think her vehicle did make contact with him. And then on the other side, on the gray area from the ICE perspective, if he doesn't shoot her, he's probably still alive. I mean, he's almost definitely still alive. So it wasn't like a necessary shot, like he had to shoot her or he was going to die. But I think in the moment when he pulled out his gun and a car's going at him, he doesn't know that, and he can't know that, and he can't be held accountable for not knowing that. But you think once everyone sees all the videos and gets all the information that all reasonable minds will come to the same conclusion. That's not happening. All I can do is I can play you the audio, and if you want to go get the video, I believe we already have it up at WBAP.com. I know I've shared it out on the WBAP X feed, formerly Twitter. So if you're not on social media, you should get on it just to follow us. But here's the audio, and I bleeped it out, don't worry.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you. Show your face. I'm not mad at you. That's okay. We don't change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
And this has become a Rorschach test now. You know what I mean by that? The ink blot tests, where we can show people the same video and then based on their pre-existing bias, they can come up with vastly different interpretations of what that means. But for most of us, the story's over. We saw what we saw. The more we learn about this, the more it just confirms what you saw originally, whichever Team Blue or Team Red you're on this one. And the real story here now is the reaction to it. The real story now is all these F-bombs that are flying out everywhere. You had Jacob Fry the day of, just an hour or two after it happened. He has to go out and tell the police, get the F out of here. Or get the F out of Minneapolis. All right. Oh, tough guy. You're so bad. Oh, we're so scared of you. What are you, like 140 pounds? Yeah. Real frightening stuff. real tough talk.
And I have a message for ICE. To ICE, get the out of Minneapolis.
Well, that's not very nice, but now this is being repeated over and over and over. We have this guy here. His name's Krasner. He is the district attorney in Philadelphia, and he tells ICE the same thing, GTFO.
If any law enforcement agent, any ICE agent, is going to come to Philly to commit crimes, then you can get the F out of here.
Yeah, he continues there. But Eric Swalwell, the congressman who got busted because he had a couple year-long affair with Fang Fang, a literal Chinese spy. You're cheating on your wife with a Chinese spy? How is this guy getting reelected? Oh, he's in California. That's right. But he has he put out a video, and it is so cringe, y'all. He wants it to look like this is just some organic thing that happened candidly, and it's clearly scripted. So in the video, it shows him and he's walking down the hall, and it's one of those videos in like one of the Capitol office buildings where, you know, the reporter rushes up to him and goes, "Hey, excuse me, Congressman, can I ask you a question?" And so he keeps walking, and the guy's walking next to him, and they're trying to act like this is some natural organic thing. And you can hear him reciting a script here. But he says the same thing. Stay the F out of California.
Hey, Congressman.
What's going on, man?
What the is up with ICE murdering a woman in Minneapolis?
She has a name, right? Renee Good. Looks like she was a mom of 3 and had every right to go see her kids last night. And instead, she's dead. And of course, this is what would happen when you have a president who surges his thugs into our communities, masked, unidentified. And I guess you're lucky now if all that happens is you're thrown in the back of a van or you're dragged by your hair through the streets, because now they're just shooting people in the face and bodies are piling up. And we have to do something about it. We're not helpless. None of us are helpless. We have to strip these guys of their immunity that makes them feel like they're invincible. We have to ban masks and require them to show their faces. And we have to make sure they're prosecuted locally. Otherwise, they're going to just roam around terrorizing people, terrorizing women, terrorizing moms. And no one with a mom or a wife or a daughter should have to think about that. And no woman should have to go through that. So, yes, to ICE, my message is stay the out of California. And I think that's the message that every leader has to deliver across the country, because we're better than them. We're going to get through this, and there's going to be good on the other side. But right now, we need leadership, and we need to go on offense.
So they're just escalating the tensions. They're escalating the rhetoric. They are hyping up their useful idiots as cannon fodder to serve the cause. They don't care if more of them gets hurt. They want more of them to get hurt. You know how good this is for business? You know how good this is for the election? You know how well that worked out in 2020 when they had people burning down stores for 4 months before the election? Now we're going to get a quick update with Spencer McGowan from Net Worth Radio here on the weekends. And before we even get into the numbers, I hear are you expanding the show, Spencer?
Oh, my show? You mean WBAP Sundays at 2? There you
go.
Yep.
Just want to get that out. Yeah, I just want to get it out there first.
Thank you for the plug. Yes, the show will run Sundays at 2. Thank you, James.
Of course.
JamesParker.com rules. By the way, I will say you were so much better than the other host. You're actually smart. That's all I'll say.
What's the other host?
Well, I'm not going to compare, but I will say you're smart. How's that?
Oh, well, I'll take that, of course. Compliments are always welcome on the James Show. But Spencer McGowan, I didn't want to talk about how damn smart I am. I wanted to talk about how the unemployment report came out for last month, December, and unemployment actually went down a tick.
That's a tiny tick.
Yeah.
But I've got like 10 numbers behind that. Could I overload you with great numbers?
You can try.
All right. So unemployment, okay, that's an estimate. How many people are looking for jobs? Well, if you take away the welfare, a lot more people are looking for jobs. All right. But I'm going to blow you away with some numbers. Okay, James?
Hit me.
All right. Atlanta Fed has been the most accurate, as you and I know, for the current quarter. Well, right, they can't do the first quarter of 2026, but they finished off the fourth quarter of 2025, economic growth at 5.4%. Do you realize how big that is?
When was the last time we had above 5% growth, not counting the convulsions around COVID?
For a whole year, it was 1984 after Reagan did deregulation.
Wow. Okay, so it's been a while.
It's been a long time. Third quarter growth was 4.3%. Now, can I beat up on the Federal Reserve suits?
Oh, please do. I always enjoy that.
All the fancy guys. So the second quarter was over 3%. First quarter, because of the tariffs, was minus 0.3. I add it all up. GDP, and this is for the listeners of WBAP. I mean, we spent a lot of time on this. It looks like growth for 2025 was 3.3%. The average growth for the last 20 years is 2.1, right? The Fed's estimate in December was 1.7%. So all these fancy six-figure suits with their huge pensions were wrong by about 50%.
Yeah, or 100% if you calculate it going forward. They predicted 1.7 and it was almost 3.4. So, yeah, there's two ways to look at that. But they get everything wrong, Spencer. They have a terrible history when it comes to predictions. It's the same thing we say about the CBO. They're like, well, the CBO scored it and says it's only going to raise the deficit by X amount of dollars. And then when you actually get to that time frame, it's, exploded exponentially. So not surprised that the predictions have fallen short.
And the government is spending billions on these predictions. Can I give you a couple of other numbers?
Please.
Okay. Inflation, October, November, for the whole 2-month period, 0.2%. That would annualize at about 1.25.
Yeah.
The last time inflation was that low was in 2019 after the tariffs when Trump took office for the first time. I'm not being political, but the trade deficit went down 39%.
Now, that's definitely impacted by the tariffs.
Yes. And do you want the last number?
Go ahead. This is Spencer McGowan, Net Worth Radio, hitting you with some extra details behind the scenes of the jobs report. Go ahead.
James Barker, I thank you for having me on, but oh my God, these numbers are so off the charts good. Then I have a warning for you if you have time, if time permits. Productivity up 4.9%. Why would inflation be low and economic growth be high? It's called deregulation, and it leads to productivity. People can make more stuff more cheaply with deregulation. Productivity was up 4.9%. This is the best in 2 years for productivity. And that's all I have to say about that.
Well, that's fantastic news. Too bad the headlines are crowded out so much with, Venezuela and Minneapolis for the shooting and Minneapolis for the fraud. And, now we got the oil companies meeting in the White House right now. But I thought it was really important to stop down and look at some of these economic numbers because they're good and people should get some good news when they deserve it. And I don't know, that makes me pretty optimistic about 2026. I also saw that the markets love the report and the Dow Jones is getting really close to 50,000.
Dude, that's why the Dow's over 49,000. But I have a word of caution for you. Are you ready?
Hit me.
Okay. Markets ascend on optimism and they die on euphemism or euphoria. So markets actually peak when everybody's optimistic. So you got to have some dry gunpowder, James. Get dry gunpowder. Now, it was good, but you really do want to take some profit in 2026.
Will do. All right. Solid advice from Spencer McGowan. You can hear more of that on the weekends here on WBAP. Net Worth Radio with Spencer McGowan comes on at 4 o'clock on Saturdays and now 2 o'clock on Sundays. Congrats on the extra hour, Spencer McGowan. Thanks for spending some time with the James Show.
Thank you, bud. You got the best show on the air.
Thank you. I appreciate that again. More compliments. Parker at WBAP.com. They can be had there. This new video release of the ICE shooting in Minneapolis, the reaction to it, I think, is every bit as important as what you see in the video itself, because it doesn't matter what video comes out or what happens in the investigation. The woman's not coming back. It's a terrible tragedy. I wish it wouldn't have happened. It's ugly. I'm sad for the whole situation. But I am seeing what looks like new evidence that should clear up everyone's opinion and turn it into, well, that's just the facts on the ground. They're just solidified even further in their position. So that's number one. We're not going to get the silver bullet that ends the debate, and we can finally say, well, you're right and I'm wrong, or I'm right and you're wrong. No, it's the gray area, and it's perfect for exploitation. Precisely because it's a gray area, precisely because it's a Rorschach test where Team Blue can see what they want to see and Team Red can see what they want to see. Therefore, we will constantly be in conflict over this situation. That's why the George Floyd story was so useful and got so much attention. You know, they're not really concerned about cops killing people. They're not really concerned about cops killing black people or killing women or anybody specific. It's just the ones that divide us. You only get the amplification of these stories where there is a gray area, like the Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf, the stabbing in Frisco last year. Perfect example of that. They don't actually hype up the police shootings that kill an unarmed black man if we all agree that that was a good shot or that was a bad shot. Why? Because it doesn't divide us. And it would serve, if they did highlight it as much, it would serve as a reminder to the people who live in their own bubbles, you know, Team Blue bubbles, Team Red bubbles, that we actually do get along and we do agree on most things. And we're not bloodthirsty, savage fascists. And we can call balls and strikes when they're apparent, no matter the race of the perp nor the victim. But no, this is going to be exploited. This is very valuable. The speculation is out there that they've been hoping for something like this because it's an election year. So I don't know, man. Don't they usually just save this stuff for presidential election years? Of course, the answer to that's like, yeah, usually. But it's kind of hard to argue against it. They're not fanning the flames. The reaction to this is just so bad. I was playing you a little bit of it earlier. I played you Eric Swalwell. I played you the DA in Philly. Played you. You know what? Let's go ahead and do the Jasmine Crockett part here, because there's like 4 clips from her on this.
Jasmine Crockett, queen of the liberal tea. Bleach blonde, bad built butch body, Governor Hot Wheels, and he is a hot ass mess, honey. Queen of the liberal tea.
Today's episode of What the Heck Did Jasmine Crockett Say This Time is brought to you by the Whiskey and Rye Bar in the Omni Hotel in Fort Worth, where I'll be doing a live broadcast next Thursday. Jasmine cried. Now, I'm going to play you first the audio from the viral video that's going around, and then I went back and I found the actual hearing, and I cut out I give you a little more context, about 30 seconds in the beginning and 30 more seconds after the clip. But here's the clip that got circulated today.
I remember when Charlie Kirk got killed. Do you remember what our response was? Our response wasn't to sit there and pretend like it was okay. Is it okay because you have a badge? Because the last time I checked, allegedly no one is above the law. Can y'all not just have a little bit of courage and humanity? A child.
All right, so that's what's being passed around. Before I go play the whole thing in context, just ask yourself, did she cry? She cried when this woman was killed by ICE. Did she cry when Charlie Kirk was killed? Did she cry when ICE agents were shot in Alvarado? Did she cry when it doesn't fit the narrative is kind of what I'm getting at? Now, you know the answer to that. Of course not. But let me play the whole thing in context, and then you'll get a little more feeling like, is this performative? Is this a genuine cry? I guess is what I'm asking you right now.
Thank you so much. It is so hard to sit here sometimes because I didn't come to Congress to write laws or to do things that are hurting people. I'm just asking if there's any decency or heart or courage on that side of the aisle. The fact that a woman was killed, she was shot in her head, and y'all are pretending like nothing happened. I remember when Charlie Kirk got killed. Do you remember what our response was? Our response wasn't to sit there and pretend like it was okay. Is it okay because you have a badge? Because the last time I checked, allegedly no one is above the law. Can y'all not just have a little bit of courage and humanity? A child. A child has lost her mom. And y'all want to pretend that it is okay. I am asking if there is anyone that will stand for the very people that elected us and sent us to Congress.
I am so skeptical of politicians crying. Did she cry when Charlie Kirk got murdered in front of all of our faces? Did she cry about the Jewish people that got blowtorched by the pro-Palestinian guy in Boulder, Colorado? Did she cry at the 2 Jews that were murdered in D.C. by the Free Palestine guy? Did she cry for the fellow Americans that were run over by the Free Palestine guy on Bourbon Street last year? Did she cry when the United Health CEO got assassinated by Luigi Mangione? Did she cry when there was 2 fatal Chaz shootings in the Occupy? I mean, she wasn't in Congress back then, but I bet you can't find it. Did she cry about the woman who was set on fire on the train in Chicago? Did she cry about the woman who's burned to death on the train in Brooklyn? Did she cry at the Ukrainian girl that was stabbed to death on the train in Charlotte? Did she cry for Austin Metcalf when he was stabbed in Frisco by Carmelo Anthony? No, but this woman gets tears. I'm not buying it. And so we're, kind of pointing out some obvious stuff. Did she ever cry when any of these other situations, and what's so different about this one? And is it even real, or is it performative? Not sure. It's hard to just read someone's mind there. It is interesting to point out the obvious change in tone, whether it's an Ashley Babbitt or Renee Good. But we continue in the hearing, and this part didn't go viral, and I wish it did, because you're going to hear her. She drops an F-bomb. It's bleeped. Don't worry. But Darrell Issa is the Republican holding the gavel and chairing whatever committee meeting hearing this is. And then you can hear Eric Swalwell, who I already played for you, telling ICE to stay the F out of California, except saying the whole thing. He comes in and is like, oh, does it hurt your little princess feelings? And so you hear some more smart mouthing out of this clip. But this is what Congress was doing yesterday.
The mayor of Minneapolis told y'all to get the out. Yet y'all are the ones, it is this administration that is bringing crime to their streets. That's what's happening.
It's the 3rd incident where somebody has dropped an F-bomb in this committee, including the video.
I'm sorry.
Including the video that we had to watch earlier.
Are your princess ears okay?
Is it profanity?
The princess ears
House of Representatives.
The committee. You are about the fact that a woman.
Are you
House of Representatives.
The gentlelady.
Are we offending your princess ears? Are they that soft?
All members will.
Maybe some of the kids out there.
Mr. Chairman, it is the gentlelady's
You're killing
time.
them.
Kids.
It is the gentlelady's time. Let's let her have her time.
Well, and I almost feel sorry for her because she kind of gets lost in the shuffle there. Do you hear her kind of squealing in the background, but no one's paying attention to her because they're too busy arguing with each other? Those are your princess ears. Yeah, to make that comment if someone drops an N-bomb in there, Eric Swalwell. See if you're still flipping about vulgarity then. But listen in the background, though.
Including the video that we had to watch earlier.
Are your princess ears okay?
Is it profanity?
The princess ears offended.
The committee? You are about the fact that a woman...
Are you House of Representatives?
Yeah, you hear that? You're more upset about my words than the fact that a woman's killed. But she talks about how, this isn't how we reacted when Charlie Kirk was killed. If you didn't hear that earlier, she's crying over it.
I remember when Charlie Kirk got killed.
Yes, let's go remember.
Do you remember what our response was?
Yeah, first off, you voted against the Charlie Kirk memorial resolution because he's such a racist. Here you are.
A resolution that came before the House this past week honoring Charlie Kirk. And there were 58 Democrats who voted against it. You were one.
Yeah.
Why?
Absolutely. You know what? One of the things I do want to point out that's not been laid out that honestly hurts my heart is when I saw the no votes, there were only 2 Caucasians. For the most part, the only people that voted no were people of color because the rhetoric that Charlie Kirk continuously put out there was rhetoric that specifically targeted people of color. And so it is unfortunate that even our colleagues could not see how harmful his rhetoric was specifically to us. And I can tell you.
Yeah, that's enough. That was her September 22nd of last year. Yeah, we remember how y'all were when Charlie Kirk got shot. Y'all were celebrating it. Yeah, we don't have to go back through all the audio, but look, I'll play you one. Here's one.
Members. Whatever his name was?
Charlie Kirk, ma'am?
Yeah, him's horrible. Horrible.
Charlie Kirk is horrible?
Yes, I'm glad he's not here.
You're glad he's dead?
Yes.
Damn cheering.
Why would you say something like that, ma'am?
Because he was horrible on the campuses, the college campuses. Horrible person.
You know what? I do the exact same thing.
Well,
would you be glad if I...
So here's AOC. Charlie Kirk was a bad guy right after he got shot.
His rhetoric and beliefs were ignorant, uneducated, and sought to disenfranchise millions of Americans, far from the working tirelessly to...
Yeah. We don't have to beat the guy in the ground, but needless to say, yeah, we do remember how you were over Charlie Kirk. Y'all were far more of a ghoul than we're being about this Minneapolis ICE shooting victim. J.D. Vance isn't out there saying he's celebrating her, this is a good deal, or she was a terrible person. He actually said he's sad for her. I said I'm sad for her. We all think it's a sad situation. No one's celebrating the fact that she's dead. We don't think it's murder. We don't think it's behavior that should be encouraged in the future. There's some good lessons to be learned from this, but there's not like a just volcano of hate spewing out of Team Red right now. Calm down. All right, coming up on the James Show, we have another protester out there, takes a weird angle on this, and inserts race. How can you insert race into the Minneapolis ICE shooting? I'm James Parker on News Talk 820, 93.3 FM, WBAP.
The James Show Podcast.